Hey, this is Kelly Jean. I'm just coming up on another year of life soon. 7 years ago on my birthday, I had another scenario come to a head where, of course, I, was victimized. The guy who, had been abusing me up to the point of my birthday ended up incarcerated. And he got in trouble for what he did. I'm afraid to talk about the details of it because I could have lost, my child over my choices, and that's stupidity on my part. But the point is, we can make stupid decisions and we can repeat them, and we can come to the point where we choose better for ourselves. So, I have a history with feeling victimized, and I have a history with poverty. And it's like in the last 7 years, after the most dramatic situations, was when I was done. It's like I had just gone through one of the worst domestic violence situations, and I was ready to snap back. I was ready to jump back and be okay. And everybody else did not take me seriously. And it's like they were blocking me from getting ahead, as they wanted me to just rest, etc., get over it, deal with it. And I was ready to go back to work and, move on with my life. And I just wanted it right away. And so it didn't happen that way. And of course, I was actively looking for work. I was trying to see if there was connections that could be made where people could get me into a volunteer job that could lead to a real job. And, of course, it wasn't meant to be. I had to up and relocate to change my life. And it took a while, but I got off of welfare. And, I went from part-time work to being gainfully employed. And now, 7 years later, I'm still maintaining employment. There really hasn't been but 2 gaps in employment. So I've been very fortunate. And of course, the gaps of employment were because I made big moves. I moved from one location to the other. And, at first I had, after the domestic situation, where, I had been labeled a domestic violence victim on my birthday of 2015, that situation, eventually had me relocating from the West Coast to the Southeast. And so I made this dramatic change, and it was for the best because it was a new start. And, my life actually has been turning around, and, I've been accountable over, how I treat myself even, because somehow there's something in us that attracts these situations, or abusers are attracted to certain people. So anyways, I have a past history with poverty and bad relationships, to say the least. And it's taken some time, but I have been breaking free of that. And I know that prosperity is in the future for me. And I went through a phase of my life where I was learning, and it comes to knowing sometimes there's a time where you're done with the pattern. So it's like we go through phases in life, and we can make poor choices and somehow attract the wrong people, but we can turn it around. And now, as I'm coming up on my birthday, I've broken free from all the bad relationships, as of yet. And, I'm working on my self-esteem all the time. And I'm attracting better situations with employment. And I'm actually moving ahead in life. Anyways, the point is, we can go through the lowest point of our lives, having a domestic situation happen on your birthday when, you should be treated like a queen and not treated terribly on your birthday, to say the least. Total understatement. I don't want to describe how bad it was. But you live and you learn, and, we do make poor choices as far as who we associate with, but we can move on and we can heal. And now, 7 years later, my life is so much better, but I had to make dramatic changes to break free from, a history of, drawing these situations to myself where I was mistreated, and that no longer serves me. And I know that I've come to a space in my life where the patterns can't continue. So, I'm learning to better myself, treat myself better. I've done so much better with employment. When I had come out of that situation, I saw everybody I knew get apartments. Well, not everybody stayed gainfully employed, and I can say that I have, and I have improved who I am in society, because without me telling anyone what I had gone through, you wouldn't know that I went through one of the worst domestic violence situations of my life on my birthday of 2015. Anyways, this is my story about how you can break out of the victim mentality, and I keep getting more and more empowered as time goes on. As I sat in the shelter in 2015, through a class, I pretty much taught the class as a victim, because I had been through enough scenarios where I pretty much could teach the class. And so when you're that far along with seeing red flags and having bad experiences, it's time to break the pattern. So anyways, here I am 7 years later. I'm approaching another birthday, and I'm just thankful that my life is better than it was 7 years ago. Anyways, you can have faith that things can turn around. Sometimes it takes a dramatic situation to where you're done attracting the wrong situations. You're ready to do something better, make smarter choices, etc. So, I'm coming up on another year of life, and it's been 7 years ago that I dramatically broke some patterns, as I broke away from poverty right after the bad relationship, and I broke away from just being tired of being a victim. So life does evolve. We can move forward. I know that I'm going to keep moving forward, and I'm excited about life, and I just wanted to share this. Thanks.